What's going on, YouTube? Thanks for coming back. I want to talk to you guys for a quick second about tonight's game between the Orlando Magic and the Boston Celtics. I usually don't do this in between games, do a preview, but I have a sense of something. I'm not sure. I went to bed last night. I did some thinking. I actually made a video about the recap of Game 4 between the Orlando Magic and the Boston Celtics. And in that, I talked about, at the end of the video, I talked about, the Orlando Magic coming back from being down 0-3. Well, it's never happened before. 93 teams have been up 3 games to nothing, and they all went on to win. But Stan Van Gundy said something very interesting. He basically said, it's going to happen one day. And I believe that. It will happen one day. I really believe him. And you know how in my videos I always say, whatever the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve. Well, that's true. And Orlando Magic barely won Game 4 in overtime. It was a heartbreaker for the Boston Celtics. I want to break something down to you guys real quick. The Celtics could be in trouble. Okay? Game 5 is tonight, and it's in Orlando. Now, let me explain something to you before I say what I'm getting ready to say. Okay? Orlando Magic had the home court advantage. Boston Celtics were the lower seed. What usually happens in a sweep and things like that, it's usually the higher seed team sweeping the other team. Okay? Now, I don't know what the percentages are or how many teams were up as far as the 93 teams that were up 3 games to nothing. I don't know how many of those teams were the higher seed, but I guarantee majority of them were the higher seed. So here's my point. Boston Celtics came into the Orlando Magic's home court and beat them both games. Okay? However they beat them, okay? Game 3, Orlando came out and they laid an egg. I mean, there's no other way to put it. So what happens is, Boston came in Game 4 and they lost at home. Okay, they could have swept them, but they lost. Now, it's 3-1 now, okay? Now, no one's come back from 3-0, but people have come back from 3-1. Okay, now keep that in mind. Now, there are potentially 3 games left. Game 5, 6, and 7, right? Okay, Game 5 is in Orlando. So let's hypothetically say Orlando wins Game 5 at home, which they're probably going to win. I don't see the Boston Celtics beating Orlando Magic 3 games in a row on the Orlando Magic's home court. I'm not saying they can't. I just say I don't think they will. So say the Orlando Magic wins tonight. Guess what happens to Boston for Game 6? The pressure goes on them, okay? Because if Orlando Magic wins tonight, guess what? They're halfway home, okay? They won 2 games out of the 4 they need to do. Now it's 3-2. Now teams have come back from 3-1. Teams have come back from 3-2. Yes, I realize that they started off down 3-0. I know that. But now it's 3-1. If they win tonight, the Orlando Magic, it'll be 3-2. Game 6 will be a pressure-cooked game for Boston because that will be Game 7 for them. Because if they lose that game, if Boston Celtics lose Game 6, guess what? Guess what Game 7 is? You guessed it, Orlando. So, I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm not predicting anything, but like I said, I went to bed last night and I was really thinking about this like, wow, this could happen. So don't be surprised if it does. I doubt it. I don't see the Boston Celtics breaking down that way because they'd have to break down. I said that before. If they lose the series, they'd have to break down. But in the combination of that, they'd have to break down, and also Orlando had to play very, very good basketball. So let's see what happens. That's going to be very interesting. So remember, guys, there's potentially 3 games left if Orlando wins all 3 games or wins 2 games. Okay? And only 1 game is in Boston if Boston loses tonight. Okay? And if Boston loses tonight and Boston loses Game 6, 2 of the 3 games are in Orlando. So just remember that, guys. Anything's possible, like Kevin Garnett said, but we'll see. I just wanted to say that before we get started with the game tonight. I'm picking Orlando to win the game. It's going to be a very close game, but we'll see. Who knows? I hate to predict and do predictions on games just because you always have to put the human factor in, meaning you don't know how they're feeling, how sick they are, the mental thing. Because in my opinion, the NBA is 90% mental. If you don't believe me, look at Vince Carter and Kobe Bryant. I mean, Vince Carter should be just as good as Kobe Bryant, if not better. He's just the same height, maybe taller. He's more athletic. Back when he was younger, can jump higher. Why is Kobe Bryant better? To me, he's more mentally strong. So that's for another video, though. So I'm picking Orlando Magic tonight, and if they win tonight, Game 6 will be a pressure cooker for the Boston Celtics. So thanks, guys, for watching the show. Always remember, treat people how you want to be treated, and everything will be okay. All right? And remember, guys, brush your teeth, wash your face, and be good to people. All right? Peace.